explain this cork again.
Well, this cork, you can see it's a very nice cork, actually. And I will say that how the cork looks very often has little to do with whether or not the cork is bad, because you can't see the fungus that affects cork. So it's really the smell that you're looking for.
Okay. Now, should we feel that cork? Maybe press it, see if it's compromised in any way?
You could, and what you would be feeling for is if it feels wet and soggy, what that means is that there was some leakage up in the cork, up in the neck of the bottle, and that might mean that some oxygen got into the wine, and that would be a different cork problem.
Yeah, and every once in a while, sometimes what I've noticed is the wine's leaking all the way down the cork and gets onto the top of the cork. Now, what does that mean?
For one, it means that it might be an
risk
old
it
bottle.
or give it back, or
I would say do what we're going to do with this next wine. Pour it in the glass.
Okay.
And see how it is. Which is a good time to mention that if you think it's bad, virtually all reputable wine shops will take back a full bottle. Even if it's not bad and you think it's bad,
don't be scared.
Don't be scared. If you spend $50 on a bottle,
something smells wrong, give it back.
Yep. Yep.
There's millions of wines out there. Try another one.
There are, and your retailer shouldn't be afraid. They'll get money for the bottle back, and you get your money back.
Yeah, that's good to know. Now, what's the third wine we have?
The third wine is a showstopper. This little beauty's reputation precedes it. This is Camus Vineyards Napa Valley Cabernet. You hear Napa bantered around quite a bit when it comes to wine. So I figured, you know what, why not pull out all the stops and bring the Camus, the big boy of the evening, to see what Napa's all about.
And we already have that poured. And I must say, Camus is one of my favorites. Now, what's a price point for a bottle of Camus?
Camus is not an everyday wine. Typical retail prices are $75 to $85, depending on where and when and which vintage.
So an everyday drinker, if you had this for a special occasion maybe, open it up, sip it to enjoy it, but get to know the other ones maybe before you start with the Camus. And we should definitely drink these on their own to enjoy the whole.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, Camus is a big enough wine that you could have it with a nice big steak. But it's also, I mean, there are a few wines that are this complex that you can just pop the cork and pour it and drink it right away. That's also why I think Camus is so well loved. So tasting wise, it's a classic example of Napa. You know, rich, dark colors.
You know what? That brings a good question. I'm thinking. What is the rule of thumb? What should we decant these? Should we open the bottle? How long should we open them, or should we just pop them and drink them?
That's one of the most important questions that I think anybody can ask, and you should ask if you're going and buying a bottle at your wine shop, because I think
they can kind of guide you.
They can guide you.
Do the right thing. But
I say 9 times out of 10 people are popping them, pouring them in a glass, and drinking them too soon. Right. All wine, it gets a little bit of shock, and it mellows out with air. So even if you just pour it in your glass and wait a few minutes, or if you're going to drink it, just give it a chance before you judge it.
Right. It releases a little bit.
Yep. Yep. And if you have a very expensive wine, a big wine, I'd recommend getting a decanter or a pitcher. You could use a vase in a pinch and just pour it in there, let it aerate.
Glass, plastic.
I prefer glass, but you know, I would rather pour it. I'd rather pour it in plastic than not decant it at all.
Okay, that's a good point. That just shows you how much the importance of decanting might be.
Yep.